I decided at age 74, having coached lacrosse for 52 years, I wasn't ready to give it up.
You can't talk about the Eastern Men's Lacrosse program without saying the name Rick McCarthy.
Rick certainly elevated the program and elevated Little East lacrosse, really, into a conference that should be noticed and reckoned with in the Northeast.
He has always been around the game, most recently serving as an assistant for the Wesleyan men's lacrosse team. But with the status of Wesleyan season still up in the air as the spring rolled around, and following a conversation with current Warriors head coach Mark Graham, he was left with a unique opportunity, an opportunity to come home.
Remember what Mark had said, so I picked up the phone. I called Mark, how would you like it if I came up and spent, a good part of the season with you guys?
McCarthy's love for the game is apparent, with him making the trip up from his home in Florida to work with the team in Willimantic.
His passion doesn't end when he leaves practice. I mean, that guy is sitting in the airport waiting for his flight, and he's watching the film of our game and sending me notes through text and email.
The program has come a long way since its founding, and it's shown in the facilities today at the Mansfield Outdoor Complex.
Our practice consisted of everybody put their equipment. We were on this field, but it was just a meadow. And the building and grounds guys brought a truck up and drove it around, and our 40 guys picked up rocks from the field and put it in the truck. And then the next year, because the rocks were gone, some grass grew up and we were able to play on it.
Regardless of the field, for McCarthy, coaching and teaching doesn't stop when the team leaves it.
There's really not enough that could be said about Coach McCarthy.
Terry Francois was a 4-year member of the Eastern men's lacrosse team, including being a part of the program's first varsity season.
Well, he's really all about helping people, and he likes to build a good program. He's good at building program, but it's him working with individuals and turning them into really good human beings.
That philosophy, along with the success of the program, attracted a number of high-profile recruits, the first being John Rabano.
He really, especially with me and my parents, just really spoke to us at the core of, what Eastern was and who he was and what he was looking to build and do up in Willimantic.
Eastern was the right fit for Rabano, who went on to become the program's first All-American on the field and in the classroom, along with being the first player in the team's history to record 100 assists, and was a 2013 inductee into the Athletics Alumni Hall of Fame.
And it just felt right to my parents too. So when we came home and we, kind of went through all the schools I was considering, it kept coming back to Eastern. And at any point, it wasn't going to be Eastern. I get a phone call and it would be Coach McCarthy, reminding me about Eastern and him and trying to, looking back at the discussions, it was like, wow, I was pretty naive there, but he was really just giving me words of wisdom and encouragement, and best decision I made in my life.
Those players and Coach McCarthy set the foundation for where their program is today.
To have an association with lacrosse legend really like Rick really has kept the program in the discussion point in Northeast lacrosse.
It's not all X's and O's that are taught in sports, but the lessons taught on the field that translate to life off it.
So when I think of Coach McCarthy, I think of three things. I think of him as a mentor to me. I think of him as a coach to me. And I also think of him as a really good friend, family member to me, right? So it's rare that you're going to really truly have all of those, with one in particular person. And, and it's not just me that has that with him. He has that with all of us.
My whole career, my whole outlook, the way I handle things come from things I've learned from him.
Stories that come full circle offer moments of reflection.
The most important thing to me is the impact that it had on all of the players and coaches, and people involved with that program, and how it's still an important part of their life. So to me, it's the bond that I share with those other coaches, but especially the players, that goes on throughout our life.
The house that Rick McCarthy helped build.
That experience that I share with all those players is really something that's the highlight, honestly, of my 52 years in coaching lacrosse. I mean, nothing matches my experience here. I mean, it was pretty great to win the national championship with Wesleyan in 2018, but you know, the most important part of my career in coaching and teaching was the time I spent here. The relationship and the impact on all our lives together, that is the thing that I take away, that I think about, that I treasure.
Today is about leaving the program better, individually and as a group, making it all about the team, having positive energy in the dugout, on the field, everywhere, okay? It's all about playing our game. Let your greatness show through your level of play. Let's have some fun today and let's go get it!
It sure does.
Let's go. Win, 1, 2, 3.
Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, to Clyde Washburn Field here. The Eastern Connecticut Warriors regular season finale as they host the UMass Boston Baseball.
Come on, Wes! Hey, she's coming in with first pitch strike, so we got to be ready to attack. Turn and look, turn and look, turn and look. Hey, stay within yourself. Get a good pitch to hit. Drop. Attack! Ooh, nice pitch. East. Everybody up. Oh. Don't hesitate. You hesitate. You have to go back. You're all right. Stop questioning yourself. You play much better when you don't think about what's going on. Just play. Okay. All right? Come on, you got it. Hey, pass ball gets away from her. You go. Carly, we have to shorten up. See it out of her hand. See it out of her hand. You need to swing at anything close that you can put a barrel to and hit it hard. Come on, we got to get hits right here.
Let's go.
Score, 1, 2, 3.
Score. Oh, I played in conference at Keene, and we played Eastern, and I just, holy crap.
That is it, baby!
Julie Sanchivani on the very first pitch. What a thing of beauty that was to left center field.
That hurts.
Yeah.
You're making Julie work today. Come on, kid, drive it! Okay, you have 9. Tagging on a fly. Okay, on the little dribbler, you got to go hard. So, what are you thinking? What's your plan? You got a plan? What pitch are you looking for? What's your plan? What pitch are you looking for?
First strike, I guess.
You got a new pitcher coming in.
All right.
You got to figure out what you're going to swing at. You got to go up there with a plan. You can't just go up there. Come on, start us here. Wait, let's go. Hey, if she goes, get her out. Okay? All right, let's make it happen. Get an out. Damn, girl. Get. That's out. That's out. Good job, kid. Nice. Way to crush it. Let's go. Let's go. Stay strong.
Time you're mic'd up.
Hey, come on. Let's leave them on our field. Right here. Pull some hits together. Score. 1, 2, 3. Say Mississippi River, then start. I'm serious. I used to have to do that. Jeff told me that.
Looking to try and end things here. She rips that one, and that's going to stay fair. They're going to use Zhang Speed to revenge. She's rounding third, and Pepping's giving her the green light to go home. She'll be home successfully. So great RBI double from Carolyn Beal. Now we'll end things here as the mercy rule has been applied.
I said I feel invincible.
I feel level. Let's go right back at them. Let's go. Win. 1, 2, 3.
So when the ladies are warming up, I go through my bat routine. We have a certain bat list I gotta take care of. For the umpires, it has to be highlighted, has to have a total and all the bats labeled on it. There are certain bats that are illegal, so they have to come through. They give it a little shake, you'll see it later, and they'll do it. And it's super important that they're in order by bat number as well as the drop number. So for example, this bat's got the bat number right here. So with the ending number 10, I know it'll go right here. And it goes by certain brands. So we have the Eastons, the DeMarinis, and the Louisvilles, and then you just set them up the same way every time so the umps can come through and check them out. Starting pitchers, make sure they're doing well. I talk to the catchers, see how the pitchers are doing. Careful, the music might get a little loud, so what I'll do is I'll come all the way down here. We see the hitters, we see the pitchers. Tay-Tay, what's going on, buddy? Yeah. So I come over here. I'll come talk to Stokes. How you doing, Stokes?
Good. What do you need me to do today, Joe?
I need you to go out there. I need you to put some gas today, okay? You too, Brooke. How you feeling today, bud? So good. Yeah, yeah. What can I say? What can I say? As you can see, I'm a pretty popular guy around these parts. So usually I'll have a conversation with the pitchers, just loosen them up a little bit. Brooke's a commuter. She comes from a long way, so I'll usually ask her how her ride goes. Stokes a little bit closer, so I usually ask her how she's feeling. If she had her Dunkin' this morning, because that's the ritual of hers, she likes to go to Dunkin' every day. So yeah, that's basically what I do around these parts. If they need anything else, I'll run around. If the coach is out, like today, Coach Brolin, I'll be hitting to the outfield today. I fill in whatever they need. So yeah, that's how it goes.
Game clock. Here's Edwards. Over the goal. Puts it up. Oh, he puts it in!
We're going to play, but, you know, I think I'm taking my guys against anybody, so, you know, we'll compete. It'll be good.
Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen. Eastern Baseball Stadium here at the Mansfield campus of Eastern Connecticut State University for this Little East Conference tournament pod here at Eastern Connecticut State University. I'm Jared Soltis, joined alongside by my partner Kyle Smith. And this is going to be the first game of a double elimination pod here. Is UMass Dartmouth and UMass Boston, a battle of the U's here today. And Kyle, of course, we're going to see Eastern Connecticut later on. As that pitch from going to miss inside.
I mean, yeah, Jared, you talk about it. It's LEC days, round 1. I'm going to be throwing for another ball.
So we mentioned on the mound here for UMass Dartmouth is the right-hander Ryan Qualey. That one going to catch the outer half of the first strike. Qualey comes in at 2.78 ERA, 22 2/3 innings of work.
This will be a walk.
So that one going to miss. So Irvin going to head down to first with a leadoff walk here for Boston as they early on. Now stepping into the box, UMass Boston is Nico Kides. And he's going to watch that slider from McQuailey catch the outer half in the 1. Run, 6 runs driven in is looking over there at first. Really a long look in, checks at Irvin, down the pitch. And that one's going to run and catch Kides on the shoulder. So Qualey trouble looking Irvin, and then so 2 early base runners already on here, Kyle, for UMass Boston as they start to stir things up with the middle of the lineup coming up.
Not the way you want to start this game, Jarrett. I mean, you got two runners already on base, 1 in scoring position. So got to start looking at your pitcher and saying, hey, maybe slow it down a little bit. Try to throw more accurate balls.
And it looks like UMass Dartmouth catcher Mitch Baker called for time. But stepping into the box now for UMass Boston is Curtis Tyrone. As that one going to miss for ball 1. As Tyrone comes in hitting. 344, good enough for third on this UMass Boston team. 1 home run, 13 driven in. Got a chance for number 4 with Irvin standing 80 feet away for the UMass Boston 1-0. That one going to miss. Play for ball 2.
They're already coming to the pitcher. Seems a little bit too early for him to start getting into his head.
So Qualey already getting shaken up here. As of course we saw him first walk Ben Irvin, then he hit Kides on the shoulder. That's going to prompt a meeting out on the mound. Of course, we got this shortly, just across Eastern Connecticut. Going to be hosting the Pod Championship at Clyde Washburn Field, so you can really that one. The 2-0. And that one going to miss just outside as well. So Qualey in some serious trouble here, and that's already going to prompt action to start getting stirred up in the UMass Dartmouth bullpen.
Similar situation we saw with the first batter. We have another walk.
So Qualey just can't find the zone here early on. So he has loaded the bases here, 2 walks and 1 hit by pitch. And now that's going to bring up the cleanup man here in Craig Corliss.
There's a perfect opportunity. You can just swing at whatever you got. You got everybody on base. You have no outs. So just full send it, see what you can do.
Definitely not the guy you want at the plate if you're UMass Dartmouth. As Qualey finally able to find the zone in there for a strike. As Corliss, 393 pacing the lead for this Boston team. 1 home run, 14 runs batted in. Now he's got a chance for a couple more here with the bases loaded. He's going to follow that one off toward the Dartmouth dugout. So Qualey in a rare spot here, finally, ahead on the count here, 0-2 to Corliss. So that one's going to be lifted out center, and that one, Irvin's going to come. They're going to hold Kides at third. Throw's going to come into Ramirez. But Corliss there with a RBI single to get the scoring started in this one as UMass Boston jumps.
Beautiful hit, beautiful placement of the ball. It would get in that center right field. And he did exactly what he needed to. Be still more. And Reich for strike.
So a golden opportunity here for Boston to try to open this one up in the early stages.
It's Aidan Blake on the bat.
Big swing and a miss. Nice slider there from Quayle. Now he's quickly ahead once again here, 0-2.
Another similar situation as we just saw. So let's see if Blake can convert it.
286, one home run in as well. As Quayle trying to climb the ladder that time. Nice stop by Baker behind the plate to keep the runners in their spots. But good pitch to waste there, 1-2.
And it's so incredible how quickly something can change like that. If he wasn't able to get up there and that ball go out, that would potentially be another run for Boston.
Nice slider there that time for Quayle. As he's able to get Blake to go down swinging. Now finally an out here for the Corsairs, their first one here in the first. Spin, and that one's going to miss downstairs. Q comes in hitting .314. And that one's going to be chopped over to second. Could be 2 to second for Ramirez. 1 on to first. 2, a double play. Big twin killing up the middle there that time for the Corsairs to get out of a big jam there. So they control the damage nicely and only hold Boston to a run. But the Beacons are able to get the scoring started. They jump out in front 1-0. We head to the bottom of the first. It's the Corsairs' turn at the plate. Back here at the Eastern Baseball Stadium, where it's the Corsairs' turn to see if they can't climb back into this one. Already down 1-0. as they're going to have the task of facing against the right-hander for Boston, as that one swung on a miss for Ramirez on the first pitch. Alex Amalfi. And Amalfi so far in this 2021 season comes in with a 2.37 ERA. In 19 innings of work, has struck out 28. Opponents hit it at a 136 clip against him. Now another big swing and a miss from Ramirez that time. Amalfi climbing the ladder on him. Ramirez's eyes lit up. So that one swung on a miss for strike two. The 0-2. Good spot that time from Amalfi. Ramirez not buying it, though, so count 1-2. Outfield for Boston playing deep, shifted more toward left. That one in the dirt. 2-2. Amalfi looks in now. The big leg kick in the 2-2. High and inside that time. Ramirez had to get him ducking out of the way. So what was once an 0-2 count, Ramirez just climbed back in it to make it full 3-2. The dangerous DJ Perrin waits on deck here for Dartmouth, a 3-2. Big swing and a miss that time for Amalfi as he gets Ramirez swinging. One down here in the first for Boston.
That was a big swing and a miss, but that ball would have been flying out.
So DiSarcina now stepping in. As DiSarcina comes in hitting 280. No home runs, 11 driven in. As Amalfi continues to pound the zone here. His first pitch to DiSarcina in there for strike one. Trying to climb the ladder at the time. Nice stop behind the plate by Kides. 1-1. Of course, the winner of this game will play Eastern Connecticut in a 4:30 game here today. The 1-1. Amalfi staying up, but not chasing it is DiSarcina. So count 2-1. Here's the 2-1. That one going to be well off the plate there that time. So Amalfi falling behind in the count here, 3-1. Now that one's going to be lifted deep right center field, moving over toward the alley. Able to play at the warning track. Nice play by Irving, center field spot. Going all the way over toward that 375 sign. So good piece there that time from DiSarcina, but Irvin gets the better of him that time. So two down here in the first.
Good hustle, a little bit of tripping over each other, but still a great hustle from both of them. Able to make the play.
Now two quick outs here for Boston. And now that's going to bring up the ever so dangerous DJ Perrin. Perrin comes in hitting a blistering 344. 2 round trippers, 18 runs batted in. Amalfi's 1-0 coming. That one going to be high and inside that time. Mike Nell waits on deck for Dartmouth. He would be due up next if Perrin's able to reach. Here comes the 2-0. And taking all the way that time is Perrin. He watches across the heart of the plate in there for strike one. Nice off-speed pitch there from Amalfi that time. The home plate umpire wasn't buying it. A little low, so count 3-1. Here's a pitch. That one going to be laced back up the middle, off the glove of Amalfi, trying to make the play as Slatterly and makes the barehanded play over to first. So a couple of nice defensive plays there in that inning for Boston, as they look like they've come ready to play here today. So bottom of the first, Dartmouth isn't able to. We head to the second. Still 1-0 Beacons. Back here at the Eastern Baseball Stadium where the Bees lead on as they were able to get to Ryan Quayle early, but a big twin killing up the middle in the top of the first was able to get him out of it, but he continues to struggle to find the zone as his first pitch misses inside for ball one. And that one's going to catch the outer half in there for a strike. Game started a touch after 1-2. UMass Boston, some trouble with travel. And that one's going to be chopped to the left side. Scoop up Diamond in time for the first out here in the second.
Boston's trying to get things to click right now.
So now stepping in for Boston is Ethan Herrera. And nice slider there that time from Quayle. Across the heart of the plate in there. That one in there for a strike as well. So Quayle maybe trying to fall into a little bit of a rhythm here. So Herrera here in 2021 as he swings and misses at that one for a strike. So Quayle with a solid inning so far here. 2 quick outs for him, 2 down now in the second. And that one going to be in there for a strike as well. So Devin Slattery steps in now. And that one's going to miss for a ball. So count 1-1. And that one's in there for a strike as well. So count 1-2 here. Quayle seemed to falling into a rhythm here.
A little bit trying to offer on that one, just a little bit too far forward.
Nice slide that time. Had UMass Dartmouth headed back toward the dugout. The home plate umpire wasn't buying it. Looked like it caught the inner half of the zone, but nonetheless, count evened up 2-2.
2's across the board. Second.
Going to be popped up over to the right side. Vasquez is there in foul territory to make the catch to retire the side. So 3 up and 3 down goes Boston here in their half of the second. We head to the bottom half. 1-0 Boston.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Wilmington, the home of the Warriors, on campus of Eastern Connecticut State University. Tom Conti here from ETV Sports. Now let's get right into the action.
This ball's out of here. The baseline, it throws it down. Find a lane, puts it in. Barry has been picking apart in that back corner. What a shot there.
Now is the time to follow your passion, the time to create your own future, the time to discover who you are and what you want to be, and the time to realize what you're truly capable of. Eastern Connecticut State University provides you with the tools you'll use to build something great. Learn more about New England's #1 public regional university.
Back here at the Eastern Baseball Stadium, where the Beacons out in front 1-0 here. Is that one going to be in there for a strike? So Nell steps in now. as he comes in hitting .274. 6 home runs to lead this Dartmouth team, 20 runs batted in. The 1-1. That one going to miss upstairs. So when Amalfi's been missing, he's been missing up, and certainly not what you want to do against the big cleanup hitter in Nell. Try to climb back into this, down 1-0 here in the early stages, coming from Amalfi. So count 3-1 here to the big right-handed hitter.
In the second inning.
That one's going to miss upstairs. So Nell is going to trot down to first with a leadoff walk here for Dartmouth as they try to start stirring something up. And now that's going to bring up Jose Vasquez. This comes in as the 4th leading hitter. Dartmouth team hits it at .316. Run round tripper, 12 runs driven in. So Nell stands at first now. Opportunity for Dartmouth to try to tie this one back up after that first inning run from the Beacons. And that's going to be swung on. Popped up right in foul territory. Not able to make the play back there is Kides, as he was able to track it down right away, but not quite able to make the play. And was able to ditch the mask, but I think he was worried about the fencing over here in foul territory. So nonetheless, Vasquez is going to get another life here.
Looked like it could have been a pretty easy catch. Fortunately, just lost it right at the end there.
So Amalfi's 0-1. That one going to miss up again. So the consistency of missing up here for Amalfi early on. Mitch Baker on here for this powerful middle of the lineup for Dartmouth. The 1-1. Big swing and a miss that time. Nice pitch from Amalfi. Had Vasquez leaning over the heart of the plate. Count 1-2. Outfield plays Vasquez straight up here. Amalfi comes. He's ready with his 1-2. Now that one's going to be laced over to second. Could be two. To second. On to first. Nice play over there at first that time from Corliss to keep the foot on the bag. But good turn from Zarrilli and Slatterly up the middle.
Looks like a little bit of a tough catch on first over there for number 35 in blue.
So the second double play we've seen here today. First one being turned by Dartmouth. Now one for the Beacons as well to respond. Now it's going to bring up Mitch Baker. Baker comes in, .342 average, 2 home runs, 11 driven in. And Amalfi's got him way out in front of that off speed. So count 0-1. Now another one fouled off to the backstop that time. So Amalfi ahead of the count here, 0-2. Here it comes. Good pitch to waste there that time. Down and away, in there for ball 1. So 1-2. Bryant due up. The windup and the 1-2. Big swing and a miss there that time, as Kides is able to jump out and throw it down to first to retire Baker. So another clean inning from Amalfi. So 1, 2, 3, here go the Corsairs in their half of the second. We head to the third, still 1-0.
University today. Visit easternct.edu.
Watch, she gets her own route, makes some moves, and gets the layup.
Lifted into center field, Lemire coming in, and Eastern Connecticut is going to Texas.
Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, to Francis C. Geisler Gymnasium. Today, Jack Petrucci joined alongside Jared Stoltis.
Goes Atchman, and we'll get things started early. Patrick Atchman into the corner. Here come the Warriors.
And Bell's able to kick it over, and it falls in. Madison Bell gets her right foot on it and sends it over.
I'm here with Linnea Rich, the senior, who just scored the game-winning penalty kick goal.
Now over to Muckle, takes it from the 3, and he knocks it in with 2 seconds left on the clock. 85-83, the Warriors take the lead. Corey Muckle, 6 in a row in the second half.
I did receive a non-athletic scholarship upon entering school.
I got the presidential scholarship, which was huge for me.
I think there's more opportunities.
Back here at the Eastern Baseball Stadium. And that first pitch from Quayle in there for a strike. So back to the top of the lineup quickly here for Boston in the third. As Quayle continues to work quickly here. So Irvin steps in, led off the game with a walk back in the first, and that one going to be in there for a strike. Quayle getting right back to the hill in between each pitch. So that one's going to be hit over towards second. DeSarcina is there. He throws on to first for the first out here, the third. So it seems
Nice and easy, quick. It's a great play by the Corsairs.
Smooth hands over there for DeSarcina at second. So now stepping in is Kides. Kides hit by a pitch in his first at bat. Part of that valiant first inning for Boston where they were able to load the bases, only able to get 1 run out of it after that twin killing up the middle. Quayle decking swiftly here, the 1-1. That one's fouled off to the right side out of play. UMass Dartmouth, the 4 seed here, and UMass Boston, the 5 seed, the 1-2. Really nice pitch there from Quayle. Baker trying to drag that one back up into the zone, not able to. Count 2-2. Big swing and a miss that time there. As Quayle able to get him to go down swinging here. So now 2 quick outs here in the third. Now Tyrone to step in. He also walked back in that first inning. That one going to be laced back up the middle. DeSarcina ranges to his right, able to make the backhanded play. Throw to first, and he gets him. What a play by J.R. DeSarcina out there in the middle infield. Able to make a diving play on the backhand and throw it onto first.
Are you kidding me, Jarrett?
Retire the side. I'm still in disbelief as well, Kyle. What a play there from DeSarcina to end that inning.
That was incredible. I almost thought that was going to go wild.
One of the best plays that we have seen all year long here at the Eastern Baseball Stadium. But nonetheless, we head to the bottom of the third. Beacon still lead 1-0.
For academic scholarships in Division III.
I did receive academic scholarships. Just being involved on campus, being a leader, all those things combined kind of get me recognized. It's a great experience for me.
So back here at the Eastern Baseball Stadium, wish we had instant in this one. Unfortunately, won't have it for game one. We'll have it for you for game two, but what a play by J.R. Disarcina up the middle to end last half inning for UMass Dartmouth. We were talking about it up here in the booth in between innings. Probably the best play that we've seen at the stadium all year long. And now that one from Bryant's going to be hit over to the right side. Slattery moves to his left and is able to make the play, throws on to first for the first out of the third. So Amalfi has worked fluently against this Dartmouth lineup. Corsairs still looking for their first hit of the day. Because it's been 7 up and 7 down so far for Amalfi against this Dartmouth lineup. But that first pitch there to Heatherman is going to miss outside for ball one. Now that one's going to be lifted high in the air over toward the Dartmouth bullpen, out of play. So Heatherman, the lefty here working, and he swings on that one, hits it high in the air. Zarrilli and Blake are there. It's going to be Zarrilli that makes it for the third. So Mike Klett steps in now. Klett, 159 average here. No home runs, 6 driven in. The 0-1. That one going to miss up. So moved in on the grass here. So the number 9 hitter in this Dartmouth lineup, Ramirez, the top of the lineup, would be due up next for the Corsairs. That one going to miss upstairs again. And that one actually getting by Kides behind the plate all the way to the backstop. Two one. That one going to be hit over to the right side, just side of first, foul. Nearly hit the bag over there. So Klett going to get another life here. Count 2-2 with 2 outs here in the third. Amalfi's ready. He says yes to Kides. His windup in the 2-2. That one's going to be swung on, fouled that time. Klett able to barely get a piece of that one, so he'll get another life here. Here comes the 2-2. Big swing and a miss that time as Amalfi continues to deal here. He's able to get Klett to go down swinging for the final out of the third. It's been 9 up and 9 down for the Corsairs here as we move to the fourth. Still a 1-0 Beacon lead.
Clock. Here's Edwards. Over the goal. Puts it up. Oh, and he puts it in.
We're going to play, but, you know, I think I'm taking my guys against anybody, so, you know, we'll compete.
A 1-0 UMass Boston lead as we head to the top of the fourth inning here. Set to lead things off here for UMass Boston is Craig Corliss. As Corliss back in his first at-bat, had that RBI single and is responsible for the lone run scored here in this one. And that pitch from Quayle going to catch the outer half. So he's fallen into a rhythm after a streaky first inning for Quayle where he loaded the bases and gave up a run. He has worked diligently against this Boston lineup. He's going to wait there in the dirt. Baker trying to go to the... It's 1-2 now.
Yeah, I guess you can chalk it off to that LEC tournament shivers. Coming in this game a little bit nervous maybe, but seems to be getting to some sort of rhythm now.
Definitely getting to a rhythm as you get Corliss to strike out there. Corliss was trying to check up his swing, but a peel down to first says he wasn't able to. So Quayle has been grooving ever since that first inning. He records his first out of the fourth.
It's going to bring up Aidan Blake.
That strikeout. Back in his last at-bat. One of 4 strikeout victims for Quayle here in this one. The 1-0. That one going to miss outside. Big gap out in left center field here for Blake. Is that off speed going to miss well inside? So Quayle falls behind the count here drastically, 3-0. As that one going to miss upstairs as well. And Mitch Baker can't believe it. He held the glove there for a while. And Coach Prince is even going to question that one. So Blake able to trot down to first here with a 1-out walk. Beacon's trying to get something going. And now that's going to bring up Q to the plate. On his first at-bat. And now it's going to be a little drag bunt down the line. Nell's going to charge it, tries to play it with the glove. Isn't able to get it. So nice little drag bunt there that time from Q. He was able to place it perfectly. Caught Nell off guard, who was playing back even with the bag at third. Now that's going to spark a little something for Boston here. They've got runners on first and second with only 1 out here in the fourth.
A little bit of deja vu here, Jarrett. Similar situation we saw them in the first inning.
So Quayle running into some trouble here in this fourth inning. Haven't seen that happen since the first. So Zarrilli to step in now as he watches that first pitch from Quayle in there for a strike. Zarrilli all found out back in his first at-bat. Now, big misses. Quayle had him full. Snap throw down to second. In time as Ramirez was there. There's Baker getting aggressive on second.
There.
So Quayle trying to get out of this mini jam he's gotten himself into here in this fourth inning. The pitch. Big swing and a miss that time. A huge strikeout there from Quayle. He gets a second out here in the fourth. It's now Ethan Herrera ready to climb in. A strikeout back in at-bat number 1 for Herrera. Looking to try to stir up some 2-out damage for Boston here. He's going to swing at that one, foul it toward the Dartmouth dugout for strike 1. Blake and Q on the base. Double steal attempt there. Chopper's going to be up the middle. Rangers to his left. He's play. Third, as he was looking to try to get Blake, who was off the bag at third. But a tough play for Ramirez. He had to come all the way over to the other side of the diamond to try to make the play.
A little bit of an odd-looking play there, Jared, and as he took a digger into the dirt. But for Boston, it's exactly what you wanted to see.
Boston now puts themselves in a similar situation in that first inning as Slattery steps in now with a chance to try to open it up here. The fly out in his last at-bat. Now all ducks on the pond here for Boston. The pitch. That's going to be a chopper to left side. Nell's going to have to charge it. Plays it on the long hop across the diamond. Nice play over there at first by Vasquez to apply the tag. As Vasquez is going to try to help up Slattery. It looked like he might have tagged him right on the face. But nonetheless, Quayle able to get out of another jam, and he retires the side. So Boston able to load the bases, aren't able to do anything with it. We head to the bottom of the fourth. Still 1-0.
It'll be good.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Wilmington, the home of the Warriors, on campus of Eastern Connecticut State University. Dom Conti here from ETV Sports. Now let's get right to the action.
This ball's out of here. The base on it, throws it down. Find the lane, puts it in. Barry has been picking apart in that back corner. What a shot there.
At Domino's, we're more than just pizza for $5.99. We're $5.99 bread twists, $5.99 sandwiches, $5.99 pastas, $5.99 chicken, and yes, $5.99 pizza too. We didn't stop at pizza, and you don't have to either.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Wilmington, the home of...
Back here at the Eastern Baseball Stadium, we move to the bottom of the fourth inning. Is back to the top of the Dartmouth lineup as Eric Ramirez steps in to the box now here for the Corsairs. And that one's going to miss. As Ramirez, a strikeout, one of the three victims today from Amalfi. Amalfi has had the number here on this Corsair lineup, the 1-0. And that one's going to run inside. And it looks like that's going to be ruled a foul ball. Almost looked like it could have gotten a piece of Ramirez. He didn't seem to gesture it, though.
I thought it did. I thought it did because I looked like he attempted to offer at it, but nonetheless, they're going to call that one a ball.
And Ramirez is swinging at that off speed well out in front of it. Only thing he's able to do is foul it off. So count 1-2. So DiSarcina waits on deck. Saw him make that stellar defensive play out at second a couple innings ago. Now Amalfi trying to climb the ladder there that time. Good spot with 2 strikes. Brought Kides up out of his crouch. So count evened up now 2-2.
You see him down low like that, you're going to want to try to get a little bit higher than normal. So as the batter is a little bit hard to hit. As that one's going to be swung on and missed. Strike 3.
So another strikeout here for Amalfi. The second time that Ramirez goes down by the way of the K. One down here in the fourth. So now DiSarcina climbs back in. Flew out in his last at-bat. Had that deep fly out. It was a nice play out in center there from Irvin. If you remember it, out in right center at the warning track. And Amalfi going to miss outside. So still nothing going here for the Corsairs. They look for their first hit in this one. Through 3+ innings, Amalfi has been stellar. If you take a look at his line, 3 1/3 innings of work. Has only given up 1 walk, has struck out 4. That one upstairs. The one place that Amalfi has faulted has been missing up lately. As he falls behind here to Disarcina, 3-0. Perrin waits on deck. Here it is. And that one going to be in there for a strike. So long look in from Amalfi. Here comes the 3-1. That one catches the outer half. So it was once a 3-0 count. Amalfi's climbed all the way back in it. Run it full now, 3-2. Slattery at second, shaded well up the middle on Perrin. And that one's going to be grounded over to left side. Zarrilli is there as he throws across the diamond in time for the second out here of the fourth.
Now batting number 26, DJ Perrin.
So Perrin steps in now with 2 down here in the fourth. Going to try to spark a little 2-out rally and trying to crack in to Amalfi here for the first time today. But that one's going to miss upstairs for ball 1. Perrin a ground out back in his last at bat. Now that one's going to be lifted high in the air out toward left center. Irving was shaded well over toward right center, and that one's going to touch down and one-hop the wall. Perrin touches second. He's thinking about 3. Throw's going to come into third. It's going to be a close one. Sliding in safely is Perrin. So a 2-out triple here for DJ Perrin to finally get things going for the Corsairs, as now he stands 90 feet away from the first run of the day for UMass Dartmouth.
What a nice hit right up the wall in the back there. Really good to see the Corsairs starting to get their heads into this game. And a beautiful triple all around.
So exactly who you want it to hand it over to now is Mike Nell to step in. You talk about Nell, the big power hitter in the middle of this lineup. And is that one going to miss down and away? So finally the first hit of the day, and it comes in a big way. A triple here for Perrin. So the first bout of trouble that we've seen for Amalfi today. First time we've even had to see him work from the stretch. Here comes the 1-0, and that one's in there for a strike. So Amalfi seems to be working a lot more diligently from the stretch here. With Perrin on third, the pitch. That one going to miss upstairs. Vasquez stands on deck here. As Nell is at the plate with a chance to knock in the first Dartmouth run of the day. The 2-1. That one going to be in the dirt. A really nice stop by Kides behind the plate to keep that one in front of him. Perrin's got to stay at third. But count 3-1 here to Nell. You talk about that shift here for Boston is on Perrin. They had him played well over toward right center, and Irvin, if he was in normal position, probably would have been able to make the play, but now Perrin stands at third. Here comes the 3-1. That's going to be a chopper over to Zarrilli at short, able to play it on the hop and across the diamond in time to retire the side. So that 2-out triple doesn't end up meaning anything for the Corsairs as we move to the 5th inning. The Beacons still lead by 1.
The Warriors on campus of Eastern Connecticut State University. Dom Conti here from ETV Sports. Now let's get right to the action.
This ball's out of here. The baseline, it throws it down. Find a lane, puts it in. Barry has been picking apart in that back corner. What a shot there.
So back here at the Eastern Baseball Stadium where the Beacons still lead 1-0 here. As now Irvin leads off that 5th inning with a shot up the middle. So first pitch swinging is Irvin as the leadoff man for Boston and gets things going for them in the 5th as they are in hunt for some insurance runs. Now he's going to hand things over to Nico Kides. As Kides a strikeout and was hit by a pitch back in his first at-bat. So Nell over at third, shaded way in, and he was expecting the bunt, and Kides squares, but slider there that time from Quayle, going to miss outside for ball 1. So in a close game as we reach the midway portion of this Little East Conference tournament matchup, Boston going to go to a little bit of small ball here. Nell way creeped in on the grass. Vasquez holds on Irvin at first. Quayle to the set. Checks on Irvin. Now he's going to throw over, but he's able to dive back in safely. As I mentioned, Boston, 3 hits today, resulting in 1 run, the pitch. And that one going to miss just outside. Baker trying to drag that one back into the zone. Dartmouth hasn't been happy with balls and strikes calls here in this one. As Coach Prince stands outside the dugout shaking his head. The 2-0. That one going to miss upstairs. So Quayle in severe trouble here. 3-0 has already given up a hit to Irvin, in jeopardy of giving up 2 straight base runners here to Boston. The 3-0. That one's going to catch the inner half. So Quayle's able to jump back in at 3-1.
Trying to see if he can climb back up the ladder here, even or make it a full count.
Here is the 3-1. That's going to lace down the line just outside of third, foul.
That's one way to do it.
So now, as you mentioned, Kyle, able to climb back in it, run the count full here. So as we mentioned earlier, ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned with us for the 4:30 game. The winner of this one will be taking on top-seeded Eastern Connecticut. As the Warriors will send their ace, Josh Vincent, to the mound. Is Quayle going to check on Irvin once again?
Quick reflexes by Irvin.
The speedy Irvin stands at first. Now the 3-2. Irvin's off on the pitch. Throw is going to go down to second. Irvin's able to get in there. So they send Irvin on the 3-2 count. Looked like it might have been a good opportunity for Kides to poke one through the empty hole on the left side, but isn't able to. But Irvin's still able to get into scoring position down to second. So 1 down here in the 5th.
That's going to bring up Tyrone.
So now Tyrone steps in. Walked back in his first at-bat. Now Irvin stands in scoring position now here. He would represent the 2nd run of the day for UMass Boston. As Alex Amalfi for UMass Boston has pitched a stellar outing here in this one. Has only given up 1 hit. We saw it last half inning, that triple from DJ Perrin, but then able to get out of that little jam. As Quayle's going to check on Irvin once again as he dances off the bag over there at second. Well, looked early on as if Quayle didn't have his best stuff today. He has settled into a groove here, has only given up 3 hits, as I mentioned. The 1-0. That's going to be swung on. Popped up into foul territory. Nell moves over toward the third base coach's box. He's able to corral that one for the 2nd out here in the 5th.
You know, so simple plays that just start adding up in games like these. Most likely can be a low-scoring game, Jarrett. But if they can just keep doing the simple things, then maybe they can get on the board.
So some action being stirred up now in the UMass Dartmouth bullpen as Zach Del Vecchio has started to loosen for Coach Prince. We saw him warming up earlier on. He goes back to it here. We move toward the latter half of this Little East Conference tournament opener. And that first pitch from Quayle. So Corliss is in there for a strike. As Corliss, a hit and an RBI today. The only RBI for either team here in this one has also struck out. Nice slider there from Quayle that time, but it misses well outside for ball one. Seeing both teams implement the shift here today. As Klett out in center is shifted well over toward right center, the 1-1. Nice slider once again there from Quayle. That seemed to be his best pitch so far here today as he jumps ahead of the count here 1-2.
Definitely been catching him swinging on the sliders, so maybe he can keep that up.
Trying to see if he can't negate that leadoff single by Irvin and then the steal as he stands at second to 1-2. That one's going to skip away from Baker, and Irvin's easily able to move down to third. So Irvin now stands 90 feet away of the second run of the day here for UMass Boston.
A little bit of insurance for Boston. And this game's only halfway started, but still be nice to be up 2 instead of 1.
2-2. Nice pitch there from Quayle. He's able to get Corliss looking, strikes him out to retire the side here in the fifth. So Quayle falling into a little bit of a rhythm here for Dartmouth as he tries to keep them in within striking distance. So we're through 4.5 here at the Eastern Baseball Stadium. We move to the bottom of the fifth. The Beacons still lead 1-0. Back to the Eastern Baseball Stadium. What has been a pitcher's duel here in this one between Alex Amalfi and Ryan Quayle. Only 4 hits between the two teams combined. 3 for Boston, only 1 for Dartmouth, but they're looking to change that here in the hands of Jose Vasquez to lead things off in their half of the fifth. Now he's swinging on that one, hit it out towards right. Herrera is moving back at the track. He loses it. It's going to one-hop the wall. So Herrera, a bit of a circus out there as he was ranging back on the back pedal, hits the warning track and one-hops the wall out there in right by the Little East Championship banner. So going to be ruled as a double here for Vasquez to lead off the fifth. As now that's going to bring up the big right-handed hitter in Mitch Baker. So in consecutive innings here for Dartmouth, they've put runners in scoring position after not being able to do so in the first 3+ innings of work. So now Vasquez stands at second in scoring position here for the Corsairs. Infield creeping in on the grass. Baker going to square to bunt. He's able to get it down. Beautifully placed there from Baker. And taking his time and throwing it over to first is Blake. But that's going to move up Vasquez to third, so well executed by the big catcher and Baker. So now 1 out here in the 5th. So now Andrew Bryant steps in. As Bryant, so far here today, in his 1 at-bat, grounded out.
Bryant really just looking to get any sort of hit so he can get Vasquez to come running in.
Vasquez really dances off the bag over there at second. Try to distract Amalfi, and his first pitch is going to miss well outside for ball 1. So Dartmouth, a golden opportunity to try to get to Amalfi for the first time here today. He looks into Kides for the sign, comes to agreement, now the 1-0. That's going to be in the dirt. Nice stop behind the plate from Kides. That's going to keep Vasquez down at third. Catcher play today has been pretty good for both teams. Baker behind the plate for the Corsairs has made a couple of nice plays, and then Kides for Boston.
A couple of issues here and there, but nonetheless.
And that one's going to be in there for a strike. Nice pitch from Amalfi. As Bryant can't believe it, he turns to the home plate umpire asking where that one was. Don't think I can blame him. Looked low and outside, but nonetheless, count 2-1. Amalfi ready. Here comes his 2-1. That's going to be swung on. Bryant lifts it over toward the Dartmouth bullpen, foul.
Even count now, 2-2.
So Bryant climbs back into the box here. Has had a pretty good at-bat against Amalfi. And a big one at that. The 2-2 coming. Swung on and missed. That one's going to skip away from Kides, though. And a run's going to come in to score as Vasquez can basically walk home as he taps on home plate. And that is the first run of the day for the Corsairs, as now they finally jump on the board and knot things up at 1. So on the drop third strike as well, Bryant is able to move over to first. So still only 1 out here in the inning. Going to be ruled as a strikeout in the book. But now Bryant stands at first as Heatherman steps in now. The DH here in this one in 1 at-bat is flown out. Amalfi looks in now. Goes to the leg kick and the pitch. That one's going to miss upstairs. So even with this trouble so far here in this inning, no action up yet here in the Boston bullpen. Got to expect pitchers going to be on a short leash for all teams here today in this crucial Little East Conference opener. And that one's going to be fouled. Tipped, glances off the mitt that time of Kides to the backstop. So count 2-1. So the Corsairs try to continue to pour it on here in this inning. Already 1 run across the plate and a runner on first with only 1 out. Off on the pitch there that time is Bryant. Really nice pitch to run on. It looked like it might have been a hit and run on. Very defensive swing that time from Heatherman at the plate. So Bryant's able to move up to second. So another runner now in scoring position here for the Corsairs. That's become a trend this last inning plus. So Bryant at second. Amalfi going to take a look at him. Throw's going to go over there, but Bryant's able to dive back in safely.
Easy call by the umpire there.
So the center fielder, Klett, stands on deck. Number 9 man for the Corsairs. Heatherman at the plate. Bryant at second. Here comes the 2-2. That one's going to be fouled off one more time. So glancing off the math there, that time it looks of Kides. Yeah, it looks like he's a little shaken up. Home plate umpire going to give Kides a little time to regroup here. Both of these teams here, a 1-1 game, bidding for a spot to face the top-seeded Eastern Connecticut, and a 4:30 start time coming up later this afternoon. As we'll bring that one for you live on the Little East Conference Network as well. But who is going to come out of this Little East Conference tournament opener? As now they've got Bryant hung up between second and third. As now they're just going to have to apply the tag on him easily. So Bryant was caught well off of second. It was a nice move that time from Amalfi. He lifted the leg up and then motioned over towards second. And Bryant was leaned well over there. So now a golden opportunity missed there for the Corsairs. As now that takes a runner out of scoring position. There was only one out in the inning. And that one's going to be swung on and missed there that time from Heatherman. So it was once a little bit of a jam for Amalfi. He's able to get out of it with the pickoff and the strikeout to Heatherman.
That worked perfectly in Dartmouth's favor, or excuse me, Boston's favor right there. Everything worked accordingly.
So everything working accordingly, but before that, the Corsairs able to put one across the plate here in the 5th inning. We move to the 6th, a tie ball game, all knotted up at 1. Back here at the Eastern Baseball Stadium, as we bring you the action live here in the Little East Conference Network for this Little East Conference Tournament opener. I'm Jared Soltis, joined alongside by my partner Kyle Smith. As Quayle jumps back out to the mound, that one's going to be lifted over the right side of Disarcina. Having trouble tracking it, but is finally able to, moving all the way over toward first to make the play. And of course, Disarcina over there at second was part of that spectacular play back earlier in this one. Was able to make that play there on the pop out. So one pitch and one out to Blake, as now that's going to bring up Q. And the first pitch to Q is in there for a strike. So Quayle has been dealing so far in this one as Q's going to lift that one high in the air. Ramirez moves out towards short left, and he's going to call off the left fielder in Bryant and makes the play for the second out here in the 6th.
2 quick outs there, 2 up and 2 down. So Corsairs really getting rhythm here.
So now Zarrilli to step in, the shortstop. A strikeout and a ground out here, and now he's going to tap that one just outside of third foul. Field 1. That one going to miss upstairs. So count 1-1. As Del Vecchio was continuing to warm in the pen. And that one swung on a miss there that time from Zarrilli. So Quayle once again ahead of the count here. That's been a theme for him after that streaky first inning. 1-2. Another swing and a miss that time. Back-to-back sliders there from Quayle. So 3 up and 3 down goes Boston as Quayle continues to groove here. As we move to the bottom of the sixth, a 1-1 game here in this Little East Conference tournament opener. A 1-1 ball game here at the Eastern Baseball Stadium for this Little East Conference tournament opener between the Corsairs of UMass Dartmouth and the Beacons of UMass Boston. And what has been a pitcher's duel in this one, as I mentioned earlier, between Amalfi and Quayle. Amalfi trots back out onto the hill here for Boston, and he faces the number 9 man at Klett as he lifts that one out toward deep right field, moving back, and that's going to one-hop the wall over the head of Herrera. Has trouble tracking it down. He's going to touch second, hit for third. Throw is going to come in. It's going to be close. Applied the tag, and they got him.
That's tough. It looked like he was a little bit injured on that run there. Look at him on the ground now. But a great recovery by Boston. But we saw him limping from second to third there, right as he passed shortstop.
It looked like right before Klett got to second base, he started limping, kind of stutter-stepped at second.
I think he might have pulled something or something of that sort. You know, Jerry, I wish we had replay in situations like these. Take another look at that one.
Short staff here today, unfortunately, no replay, but Klett looks like he's going to walk off and limp off. So definitely would have reached if it wasn't for that injury that looked like he sustained in between first and second. A little bit of a stutter step right before second, as I mentioned. But a tough break there for the Corsairs. What looked like it was going to be a walk-in triple at first. But then Klett looks like he may have pulled that hamstring. So an exciting first out here in the sixth.
You know, you hate to see it, too, in games like these. It's a championship season. You want to give it all you got, and you just can't because of injuries. So it's a shame to see it happen.
So now back to the top of the lineup in Ramirez, as he's going to swing that one, chopped outside of third, foul. As Ramirez has fanned a couple of times here in this one. The leadoff man hasn't been able to get anything going against a tricky right-hander in Amalfi. He's had his number, the 1-1. But now he does, and he lifts that one out toward deep right center field, moving back at the track, and Herrera is there right in front of the wall there to make the catch. So a couple of solid pieces against Amalfi in similar spots there. First that hit from Klett where he was gunned out at third, but then that nice piece of opposite hitting power from Ramirez. He appears to be a little angry with himself. Looks like he just missed that one, about 5 feet short of a home run, but nonetheless a loud second out here in the sixth. Now Disarcina steps back in. A ground out and a fly out to his credit here today. Has flashed the leather as well. So 1 run on 3 hits for Boston and 1 run on 3 hits for Dartmouth. Exactly what you expect between the 4 and 5 seeds in Little East conferences. That one's in there for a strike. Here comes the 1-1. So that one's going to be in the dirt. A nice stop by Kides behind the plate. So count 2-1. Here comes the 2-1. Now that one's going to be lifted out toward deep center field. Irvin moves over to his left and is able to make the play to retire the side. So 3 loud outs here for the Corsairs in their half of the 6th, but they aren't able to do anything with it. So now we move to the 7th. Things still squared up at 1. Ethan Herrera to lead things off here for Boston in their half of the 7th inning, as they try to respond after that 5th inning run from the Corsairs to tie things up. And ever since that first inning, Boston just has not had an answer for the big right-hander in Quayle, as he has worked quickly and efficiently. As another one swung on and missed there that time. Quayle's got a lot of swing and misses on that slider today, Kyle, as you were mentioning earlier.
I mean, clearly it's going to be his throw of choice in this matchup. I mean, he's been getting a lot of them, just as you said. So I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a lot more of it from here on out.
Boston just hasn't been able to figure out that tricky slider, and there it is again, but that one misses out of the outer half. So count 2-1 now. Actually count 3-1. So here it comes. There it is one more time, so it dances across the heart of the plate, in there for strike 2. Right back to the rubber goes Quayle. Here it comes. That one swung on and missed. Actually fouled off that time. Glanced off the mid of Baker. He wasn't able to squeeze it. So Herrera going to get another life here. So that slider there that time going to miss inside for ball 4. So a good at-bat there that time for Herrera, able to run the count full. So now he walks down to first with a leadoff walk here for Boston in their half of the 7th. So good opportunity for Boston here, a leadoff walk. Going to try to figure out Quayle here. As Slattery steps in now, and that one going to miss low and outside for ball 1. So now off on the pitch there that time looked like it was just a lapse of concentration. I think Qualey went to the windup there, even with a runner on base. So Qualey just forgetting there was a runner on first, and now going to go out and talk to the right-hander here. So heads up base running there from Herrera, noticing that. So he's able to move up to scoring position on a mental mistake there that time from Ryan Qualey. So defensive change as well here for UMass Dartmouth. Tyler Lyons going to move into center for Klett after we saw him come up limp there, trying to turn a double into a triple last half inning. So Lyons steps in, the Wallingford, Connecticut native. So now Nell is creeped in the grass at third. The 2-0, and square in the butt that time is Slattery, and he pulls back on a strike, so count 2-1. So catcher Baker deals out some signs to his infielders here with a runner on second. Looks like UMass Boston might be trying to lay down a bunt here. But swinging away this time, and that's going to run inside, and that's actually going to catch Slattery on the shoulder. So the second batter that's been hit by a pitch today from Qualey is now he runs into some serious trouble here with runners on first and second and no outs. Got to wonder if the time is winding down here for Qualey. His arms have been warming in the pen for the Corsairs this entire half inning.
It's giving Boston a lot of advantages here. And if Boston can capitalize on that, we'll see. But yeah, you're right. You might be questioning whether we keep him in or take him out.
So now time actually going to be called by Boston here as they're going to have a discussion with Irvin, Herrera, and Slattery. As Irvin comes up to the plate now, the leadoff man here, a 1-for-2 day so far. It's reached on a walk, has swiped the bag as well. And Herrera stands at second, and Slattery stands at first after being hit by the pitch. So Boston maybe going to a trick up their sleeve here to try to jump out ahead of this one. Things definitely going to start getting more intense here, Kyle, as we move to the latter third of this Little East Conference Tournament opener.
No question, it's going to be a battle between the two teams, especially being still tied 1-1.
So Irvin trots up now. And now time's going to be called by Dartmouth. So cat and mouse game here being played by Boston and Dartmouth. As Qualey's going to hand the ball off to his manager, Prince. So Qualey leaves in this one after running into trouble here in the seventh inning. So Dartmouth is going to make a pitching change. As they do that, we'll step aside, and when we come back, we'll bring you the rest of the seventh. Don't go anywhere.
Game clock. Here's Edwards. Over it goes. Puts it up. Oh, he puts it in!
We're going to play, but, you know, I think I'm taking my guys against anybody, so, you know, we'll compete. It'll be good.
At Domino's, we're more than just pizza for $5.99. We're $5.99 bread twists, $5.99 sandwiches, $5.99 pastas, $5.99 chicken, and yes, $5.99 pizza too. We didn't stop at pizza, and you don't have to either.
The best thing about ETV News is probably the overall togetherness of the staff. Everyone plays a big role in the pre- and post-production aspect of it.
The global stories that we bring here, we produce here,
we work on, we research, we explore. And
the hands-on exposure you get, because ETV News is all student-produced.
My mindset going into one-on-one is really just focusing in on the topic at hand at whoever I'm interviewing, because there's so many different aspects.
I like being able to put personality behind stuff.
Being a sports anchor, I'm able to call a highlight and maybe provide a little bit more excitement.
If you're thinking about coming to Eastern and majoring in communications, the best thing to do is reach out and get involved.
Now is certainly definitely the time to come in here.
Well, although it is a lot of work, it's going to be worth it in the long run.
Watch, she gets her own ground, makes some moves, and gets the layup.
Lifted into center field, Lemire coming in, and Eastern Connecticut is going to Texas.
Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, to Francis C. Guys Search Amazing. Today, Jack Petrucci joined alongside Jared Soltis.
Goes Adjaman, and we'll get things started early. Patrick Adjaman into the corner. Here come the Warriors.
And Bell's able to kick it over, and it falls in. Madison Bell gets her right foot on it and sends it over.
I'm here with Linnea Rich, the senior, who just scored the game-winning penalty kick goal.
Now over to Muckle, takes it from the 3, and he knocks it in with 2 seconds left on the clock. 85 games.
Back here, got a pitching change here for UMass Dartmouth. And the pitching change is in the hands of Robbie Carrillo. As Carrillo comes in here in a tight spot. He comes in with a 4.58 ERA and 19 2/3 innings of work. As Irvin squaring a bunt here, runners on first and second. Carrillo's not even going to throw his first pitch. He's instead going to check on Herrera down at second.
Might have died. Do you want me to run the charger? You take over for this then?
So snap throw is actually going to go down to second. So count 1-0 still to Irvin. So Carrillo looks into his sign from Baker. Runners on first and second. The pitch. Now that one's going to be swung on, hit out toward left. Moving over into foul territory. And able to make the play is Bryant. So he's going to throw that one into Ramirez. So keeps runners where they are. So a big out there for Carrillo coming in to get the first one here for Dartmouth. So Nico Kide going to step in. As Kide so far today, 0 for 2, is fanned twice. So Carrillo a long look in now. Different pace being set by him as opposed to Quayle. And that first one from Kide is going to be fouled off to the netting to the right side. So after that response from Dartmouth in the 5th inning, after that one early run by Boston, neither team has been able to separate themselves just yet, but Boston gets the first golden opportunity to here with runners on first and second and one out in the heart of the lineup coming up. Now Carrillo's going to check on Herrera once again, but no throw as he's able to jump back in there safely. So a big spot here for Dartmouth trying to get out of this jam. 2 runners on base responsible to Ryan Quayle. Carrillo comes to the set in the 0-1. They're going to actually check on Herrera once again as Disarcina was dashing over to second. So Carrillo coming to a slow set and the pitch. That slider's going to miss down and away. So evens up the count here 1-1. And here comes the 1-1. That one's going to miss in the dirt. So Carrillo struggling to find the zone a little bit here against Kide. Runners stand at first and second. Again, the winner of this one set to play Eastern Connecticut later this afternoon at 4:30. But who is it going to be? The 2-1. That one's going to be chopped over toward the Dartmouth dugout. Foul. So Herrera stands at second. Slattery over at first after being hit by the pitch. Runners are off on the pitch. Throw is actually going to go down to second. Ramirez is going to cut it off, not nearly in time. So a good pitch to run on there is Carrillo with that high leg kick on the stretch. Now that's going to move runners up to second and third now with only one out. So now here comes the 3-2 offering from Carrillo. That one's going to be swung on to the right side. Foul out of play. So count will remain 3-2. As you see, down the line there as well, Eastern Connecticut starting to warm up for their 4:30 matchup. The top seed, the host team in this pod here today. Of course, other pod being played at University of Southern Maine between Southern Maine, Rick, and Castleton, the 3-2. Now that one's going to miss upstairs. So Kais is going to head down to first base, and that's going to load things up here for Boston. As now Carrillo has put himself in an even tighter spot now. So corner infielders shaded in. Disarcina and Ramirez play shaded over towards second at double play depth here with one out. And that one's going to be swung on from Tyrone. Foul to the left side. Tyrone an 0 for 2 day so far. Has reached on a walk, has grounded out and flied out. Here's the 0-1. Be fouled off again. So Carrillo able to quickly get ahead in the count here, 0-2. So Tyrone, an opportunity here to poke a couple runs home and try to jump out in front of Dartmouth in this one. Top of the seventh has been a long one in the field so far for the Corsairs. Long look in from Carrillo as he tries to get Tyrone out here. The pitch. One's going to be grounded back up the middle. Could be two. Disarcina steps on the back for one. On the first two. A double play. A big twin killing up the middle that time. Turned by J.R. Disarcina. Couple of spectacular defensive plays for number 5 in white here today as that retires the side.
What a beautiful way to get him out of that pickle, Jer. I mean, they could have gone a lot worse than what they just did, so got to give it to them.
Dartmouth definitely doing that a couple of times here today. So, as we head to the bottom of the seventh in a 1-1 game, it's time to stretch at the Eastern Baseball Stadium.
83, the Warriors take the lead. Corey Muckle, 6 in a row in the second half.
Division III allows you to give yourself to other things.
Having that free time allows me to pursue the things that I want to pursue.
Division III in athletics affords students the opportunity to, engage in the other interests in their campus and in their lives outside of that sport.
It allows you to just be able to do everything you want to do. I wouldn't change it for the world.
Something I discovered in myself is that if I have a goal, then I can accomplish it.
It's a well-rounded experience.
At a Division III school, you primarily a student athlete, so the school is really shaped around you developing yourself as a complete individual.
It helps a lot that you have a family with your team that can guide you.
Watch, she gets her own route, makes some moves, and gets the layup.
Lifted into center field, Lemire coming in, and Eastern Connecticut is going to Texas.
Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, to Francis C. Geisler Gymnasium. Today, Jack Petrucci joined alongside Jared Soltis.
Adjman, and we'll get things started early. Patrick Adjman.
So Perrin to lead things off here for Dartmouth in their half of the 7th. In a 1-1 ball game here at the Eastern Baseball Stadium. Once again, I'm Jared Soltis, joined alongside by Kyle Smith. In what has been a stellar pitcher's duel here today, as the Corsairs able to get out of a big jam there last half inning. Bases loaded with 1 out, but a nice double play turned up the middle by J.R. Disarcina. As Perrin now in the box.
A lot of zeros on that board today, Jarrett. Something Eastern Baseball Stadium is not used to, to their high-scoring home team, the Warriors.
I mentioned that high-scoring home team. Kyle warms up down the left field line over in the cages as they get ready for their game. As Perrin's going to chop that one over to third. Scooping it on the short hop is Blake, and he throws on to first for the first out of the 7th.
So it'll be interesting to see who wins this matchup and goes against the Warriors in the next game starting at 4:30.
So Mike Nell now ready to climb in. Nell, the third baseman here today. As that one's going to miss high and inside for ball 1. Here comes the pitch. That one going to miss as well. So Amalfi now down in the count here, 2-0. So Nell so far here today, 0 for 1. The reach on the walk is also grounded out. As this usually strong middle of the lineup for Dartmouth has been quiet here today. Really nice pitch there, 2-0 from Amalfi. It looked like Nell was ready to offer, but it catches the outer half in there for a strike.
Not abnormal for Amalfi to get to climb back up the ladder with these strikes coming back from under the count. Is that going to get a hit there?
So Nell's going to lift that one high in the air out towards short. As Zarrilli's able to move back and makes the catch, but not before a little bit of an adventure for the Boston shortstop. Had to backpedal at the last second, but was able to make the play. So 2 down here in the 7th.
Took a bit of a tumble on that one. It came down, sending him back a little bit. Not too sunny at the Eastern Baseball Stadium.
Had beautiful conditions of late. Calm winds here though today. It has been an above-average windy spring, as that one's going to be chopped outside of third, foul.
We are known to have some high winds, Jarrett, as I'm sure every team has experienced that coming down to Willamette, Connecticut.
Flags are starting to blow a little bit, but not like we saw last week. Now Ramirez is going to lift that one high in the air out toward right. Herrera's there, though. And he is able to make the catch to retire the side. So 3 up and 3 down go the Corsairs in their half of the 7th. We head to the 8th. Still anyone's ball game.
Into the corner. Here come the Warriors.
And Bell's able to kick it over, and it falls in. Madison Bell gets her right foot on it and sends it over.
I'm here with Linnea Rich, the senior, who just scored the game-winning penalty kick goal.
Now over to Muckle. Takes it from the 3. And he knocks it in with 2 seconds left on the clock. 85-83, the Warriors take the lead. Corey Muckle, 6 in a row in the second half.
For the love of the game. But for those of us who are Division III student athletes, it's more than that, a lot more.
Sure, the game is important, but as we work so hard to build both mind and body, it's more about team.
That is why NCAA Division III teamed up with Special Olympics, and in giving the gift of sport to those for whom it seemed an impossible dream, we are working to make this a better world.
Help us keep that dream alive.
You can make a difference.
The best thing about ETV News is probably the overall togetherness of the staff. Everyone plays a big role in the...
So back here at the Eastern Baseball Stadium, to the top of the 8th we go.
Still a 1-1 ball game out here, Jarrett.
As I mentioned before we went to break, anyone's game still, Kyle.
When it's such a close matchup like this, you're right, it could be anyone's game. But Boston's out here trying to see if they can convert something, maybe get the lead here.
So Carrillo trots back out to the mound. The diligently working right-handers. First pitch to Corliss, in there for a strike. So you mentioned Corliss steps in the box, a 1-for-3 day. As I keep mentioning, responsible for the lone run driven in here today for UMass Boston.
Both teams sitting at 3 hits. Dartmouth with 1 error.
Big swing to miss that time on an off-speed from Carrillo. As Corliss comes up empty, count runs 1-2. And that RBI from Corliss now moves him into a team lead, which breaks a tie with Aidan Blake. So 15th RBI, Blake had 14. So Corliss now leads the team in that category. Also the leading hitter on this team at just under 400. Now he's going to lace that one over to Ramirez. He ranges to his right, plays it on the side, and on to first for the first out of the 8th. Nice play over there for Ramirez. Have seen the middle infielders for Corsairs, the Corsairs here today, play pretty spectacularly.
It's been the story of this game, Jared, getting those first quick outs off the hit. Been seeing it all day, and I'm sure we'll continue to see it in the next 2 innings.
I was just talking about Aidan Blake. He's ready to step in now. As Blake so far here today, though, 0 for 2, strikeout and a flyout. As pitching for both teams has been stellar. The 0-1. That one's going to be in there for a strike.
Quickly ahead in the count, 0-2.
So both teams quiet with the bats here today. Only 3 hits apiece for both Boston and Dartmouth. And that one low that time, it appeared so. Mitch Baker, the catcher for Dartmouth, didn't think so, however. He was ready to toss it around the horn. But nonetheless, count 1-2.
So trying to get a strikeout. Corsairs could use this.
Now Carrillo's ready. Here comes the 1-2. That one's going to miss outside. So a couple of pitches to waste for Carrillo, and he does so. Evens the count back up here at 2-2. In what has been a very quick game here at the Eastern Baseball Stadium. Just a little bit under 2 hours the run time has been. The 2-2. Swing and a miss that time for strike 3 as Carrillo gets Blake to go down swinging that time. 2 gone now here in the 8th. So Carrillo has been working rather slowly. There's a change of pace, as I mentioned earlier, for him and Ryan Qualey. We saw Qualey getting back to the rubber pretty early after each pitch, but now Carrillo changing up the pace on these Boston hitters. Got to wonder if it's been throwing them off a little bit. As now his first pitch here to Q is in there for strike one. Q so far here today. Zach Blunt has reached on an error. 0 for 2 so far.
So both teams standing off in this matchup. Who will come out on top and who will trail behind?
Either team able to separate themselves from the other here in this one, the 1-1. That one going to miss just low and outside, it looked, as Baker tried to drag that one back up into the zone. Home plate umpire wasn't having it, so runs the count here, 2-1. Carrillo's ready. Here's the pitch. Another swing and a miss on that nasty slider from Carrillo. Q comes up empty on it.
Such a tough ball for them to even attempt that.
So 2-2, 2 outs here, top of the 8th. Corsairs trying to move into prime position here. Here's the pitch. That one's going to run inside there that time. Carrillo going right back to that slider. That seems to be his best pitch. So Q will get another life here. Count has been run full now. Carrillo looks in at Baker. Now he comes to the set. He's ready with the 3-2. Now that one's going to be poked out towards center, moving in as Lions. He's not able to get there. It's going to hop in front of him. So a good piece of hitting there, good two-strike hitting there that time from Q. He's able to reach with the first hit of the day. So Boston trying to spark some two-out magic here in the 8th. Now the shortstop, Gianni Zarrilli steps in. Zarrilli an 0 for 3 day here today. Has struck out twice. He's not alone, though, as 3 other Boston hitters have also struck out a couple of times here today. Now trying to change his fortune here with a runner on first. And that pitch going to run inside. Looks like it nearly caught Zarrilli. But nonetheless, count 1-0. Now off on the pitch there at that time. Throw is going to go down to second. Good pitch to run on. As throw from Baker wasn't even close. So Q is able to move down, swipes a bag there, and he moves into scoring position now here. So he stands out there for Zarrilli with 2 down here in the 8th. Boston threatening, but we've seen Dartmouth do a great job of getting out of jams. Saw it happen in the first inning with bases loaded and 1 out. And then saw it again a little bit later. They're going to check on the runner at second. Off the glove of Ramirez, going to scoot into center field. Disarcina is there for some nice backup.
A little bit of a sloppy play from the Corsairs. Almost gave UMass Boston an opportunity to go to third.
So Q was able to dive back in safely after he was able to swipe second. He continues to dance off the bag over there at second. Good opportunity here for Zarrilli to get his first hit of the day. Carrillo ready. Here's the 2-0. Now he's going to try to check his swing, but going to tap that one to the backstop foul. Some action now stirring up down in the Boston bullpen as well. As Amalfi has been the workhorse for the Beacons here today. But got to wonder if moving into the latter stage of this Little East Conference tournament opener, he might be on a short leash. But Carrillo, he's ready to the set with a 2-1. That one swung on a miss that time. Another nasty slider there, that time from 33 in white. Zarrilli comes up empty to run the count even 2-2. Carrillo looks in to Baker. 2-2, 2 outs. Opportunity here for Boston to take the lead. The pitch. Now that one's going to be roped down the line, but tailing foul toward the Dartmouth bullpen. So good at bat here from Zarrilli. Continuing to battle here with a runner in scoring position for Boston. Boston's had a number of opportunities. We saw when Carrillo came into this game, he ended up loading the bases, but then was able to force that double play up the middle, turned by Disarcina, stepping on the bag at second, throwing on to first. Now running into a little bit of trouble here with 2 outs and a runner at second in queue. Carrillo looks in, Zarrilli steps in the box. He comes to the set, but Zarrilli's going to call for time here. Talked about that pace of Carrillo, Kyle. It's been pretty slow so far coming into this one.
Absolutely. Definitely not fast, but nonetheless, still throwing him in. He's doing a good job at it.
2-2. Just missing the outside corner, says the home plate umpire. Baker tried to frame that one back into the zone. The Dartmouth dugout wasn't too happy with the call. Don't think Coach Prince was either, as he shakes his head down in front of the Dartmouth dugout. But nonetheless, runs the count here full, 3-2. A big pitch coming here from Carrillo, and an even bigger at-bat for Zarrilli, as he's going to try to score Q from first. With the outfield playing deep, base hit most likely scores a run. But a really good at-bat here from Zarrilli. But Carrillo is ready to try to get him out. Here comes the 3-2. Swung on and missed for strike 3. Carrillo's able to get out of it. Fans him with that slider once again. So Boston's able to put a runner on second, but they don't do anything with it. We head to the bottom of the 8th. The Corsairs trying to take the lead.
Pre- and post-production aspect of it.
The global stories that we bring here, we produce here, we work on, we research, we explore.
The hands-on exposure you get, because ETV News is all student-produced.
My mindset going into one-on-one is really just focusing in on the topic at hand, at whoever I'm interviewing, because there's so many different aspects.
I like being able to put personality behind stuff.
Being a sports anchor, I'm able to call a highlight and maybe provide a little bit more excitement.
If you're thinking about coming to Eastern and majoring in communications, the best thing to do is reach out and get involved.
Now is certainly definitely the time to come in here.
Well, although it is a lot of work, it's going to be worth it in the long run.
You have to have a talented group that has great chemistry and that has mental and physical toughness.
You have to have an incredibly high work ethic. I think you have to work extremely hard.
It's been a massive success story in both Warrior basketball programs over the past decade. The two teams have proven to be a perennial powerhouse in the LEC during that span. On the men's side of things, head coach Bill Geithner has led his team to a record of 200 wins and 69 losses, along with 7 Little East Conference regular season titles and 3 tournament titles. Throw in 5 Little East Conference Coach of the Year honors, and Coach Geithner has been the most dominant force in the entire league.
Back here at the Eastern Baseball Stadium we are. We move to the Corsair half of the 8th inning. Neither team still able to jump out in front. Boston jumped out to that early 1-0 lead in the first, but then a Corsair run in the 5th off the wild pitch from Amalfi. And that's pretty much all to update you on so far here in this one. Hasn't been a ton of action, only 4 hits here for Boston, 3 for Dartmouth. But now, the Corsairs look to try to change that here in this one.
It'd be incredible if the Corsairs could come back from where they were earlier in this game. And you look at how they started and how they're playing now. They're playing phenomenally now. All the parts are starting to click.
As now that one's going to be swung on from Baker, hit high in the air over toward first. Corliss moves over toward his own dugout, was able to make the play just outside the first base coach's box.
And for the Corsairs, you're going to want to hit a run here and keep them scoreless at the top of the ninth, because then that'll be the game. So they have 2 more opportunities to seal this deal.
So now Bryant steps in, and he swings and misses at that first pitch in there for a strike. And that one's going to be fouled. Looks like it caught the home plate umpire and Kide. So runs the count here, 0-2 on Bryant. As Bryant so far in this one, an 0-for-2 day the left fielder has had. 1 strikeout, has swiped the bag. Was also caught in between second and third and picked off. And now he's going to lift that one, but it's going to tail toward the Dartmouth bullpen foul. And Kyle, it was interesting you mentioned the change of pace that we've seen. Of course, earlier in the game, looked like Boston was going to run away and hide in this one as Quayle struggled to find the zone, but Dartmouth has fought back nicely.
Absolutely. It just seems like their defense, more than anything, has been starting to click a lot more and able to get them out of those tough situations that we've been seeing all day, especially with the bases loaded in the first. And there's another time as well.
So it's been a stellar defensive day for sure for Dartmouth. That one's going to be laced right back to Amalfi. He stabs it with the glove and tosses on over to first. Nice flash of the leather there that time from the big right-handed pitcher. So now 2 down in the 8th.
What great reflexes he's got going on there. Able to get to the ball quickly and then just jog it on over.
We were talking about impressive defense from the Corsairs. Boston's had their fair share as well. Saw that nice play from Irvin over in the right center field gap earlier in the contest. And that pitch to Heatherman is going to dance across the plate in there for strike 1. Heatherman, along with the rest of this lineup, has been quiet today. 0-for-2 has struck out and a fly out. Well, he's going to chop that one right back to Amalfi once again, and he's just going to underhand it over to first to retire the side.
Some more deja vu there, Jarrett.
So some more flashing of the leather there that time from Boston to end the 8th inning. So the Corsairs, they come up empty in their half of the 8th. We move to the final frame. Still tied up at 1.
Coach Geithner proved to lead his squad to some national exposure as well with a 5-5 record in the NCAA tournament.
You know, the wins, the regular season, Little East Conference championships, conference tournament championships, going to the NCAA tournament, reaching the Sweet 16, you know, all those successes on the court. But, you know, more importantly, I think it was, you know, the guys coming through the program, becoming better students, better citizens, ultimately graduating and then moving on. I think, you know, that's the complete package.
The accolades also pile up for the women's team and head coach Denise Beerley as well in the last 10 seasons. With a 152-win and 100-loss record, Coach Beerley led her squad to some magnificent seasons. With 3 Little East Conference regular season and tournament titles apiece, Coach Beerley has proven why her squad is always a force to be reckoned with. The 5 NCAA tournament appearances this decade have given the program national notoriety to back up the conference success.
The one word that I would use for the last decade is just togetherness. I think that that's something we say all the time when we huddle. I think we've had a great group of young women over the past 10 years that have bought into what we're trying to do here at Eastern and just really have played together and been together, and I think that's the word that came to my mind.
Both programs have proven to be amongst the
Back here at the Eastern Baseball Stadium, we move to the 9th inning here between the Beacons and the Corsairs. A tie ball game, all knotted up at 1.
Jerry, we talk about this close matchup. I would not be surprised if you saw 10 innings or more.
As neither team certainly has been able to prove that they're going to come out of the winning end of this one. As Robbie Carrillo back out on the mound here for Dartmouth. And he's been working nicely out of the pen, 2+ innings of work now. 2 strikeouts, has only given up 1 hit, and that's going to be chopped over to the right side to DiSarcina. Plays it on a slow roll and over to first for the first out of the 9th.
So quick play there for the Corsairs to get their first out of this 9th inning.
So now it's going to be a pinch hitter. So Camus to step in now. Michael Camus as coming in a crucial pinch hitting situation here.
And Jerry, for the Corsairs, you want to get in and out of this inning as fast as you can and get yourselves back up to the plate.
And we first pitch swing and lift that one out toward left. Moving back, and that one's going to one-hop the wall. Bryant's going to play it off the wall. He's going to throw it into Ramirez, but not before Camus trots into second base with a 1-out stand-up double here for Boston in the 9th inning. So what a move to bring in Camus against the right-hander here in Carrillo. Good piece of hitting going the other way with that one. Now he stands in scoring position here in the 9th inning.
It's a beautiful double. Add their 5th hit on the day. UMass Boston. So if they can get their pieces all working together, wouldn't be surprised to see them get one more run in here and seal the deal.
Of course, Dartmouth will get there at bats. As now it looks like we're going to have a pinch runner in Ryan Lang. As Lang, the junior catcher from Brookline, Massachusetts, comes in here as he represents the go-ahead run here in the 9th inning. After that Camus pinch hit double. And now they're going to put on the leadoff hitter in Irvin. As now they're going to actually take their luck with Kides, who's been 0 for 2 today. Has reached on a walk, has also fanned twice. So Kides in the box here. What a chance it would be to get his first hit of the day in a big spot. But he's first pitch swinging and lifts that one high in the air in the middle of the infield. Ramirez is there in front of second, and he's able to get that one. So a big pop out here. Infield fly rule ruled on that one. Well, Ramirez is still able to catch it anyway, so 2 gone now here in the 9th. Dartmouth Kyle has done a great job of getting out of these jams, and certainly with 2 outs now here, puts themselves in a good place.
I was going to say, this is exactly where they excel. We've been seeing them all day, get out of these jams.
So Carrillo has been the head of that as well. Trying to get out of another one here. As that pitch for him that time, though, misses outside for ball 1. So Tyrone to step in, the 3-hitter here for Boston. An 0 for 3 day for him thus far. Reached on a walk, 2 groundouts for the big left-handed bat. Tyrone, 3rd on the team in RBIs at 13. Would love to break that here. And that one going to miss outside as well. So now Carrillo behind to the 3-hitter here. 2-0. Still no action up in the Boston bullpen, it appears. As Amalfi has been the workhorse here for the Beacons today. As Carrillo is going to motion over towards second. So count 2-0. A long look in to Baker. Now he comes to the set. Ready with the 2-0. That one going to miss outside as well. So now Tyrone really ahead in the count here, 3-0.
An opportunity to see all the bases loaded. It's exactly what Boston would love to see.
So with an arm warming in the pen for Dartmouth, got to wonder if a runner reaches here, this will be the last batter that Carrillo faces. I think Coach Prince knows that. He's made his way to the end of the Dartmouth dugout. But Carrillo trying to get out of it. Here's the pitch. That one going to miss outside. So Tyrone going to reach on 4 pitches, a 4-pitch walk to number 4 hitter, or the number 4 in black rather, as now the bases loaded here for Boston.
And talk about a real jam here. This could be for the LEC first round, Jer.
So I mentioned that arm warming in the Dartmouth pen. That is the senior, Logan Maitland. So Maitland warms here for Dartmouth as they try to get out of this jam. Now Craig Corliss steps in. As I keep mentioning, he's responsible for the lone RBI of the day here for Boston. And what a golden opportunity it is for him to get his second with the bases loaded here in the 9th inning. Here's Corliss going to call for time here. Carrillo, a long look into Baker, now comes to the set. He's ready with the 0-1. That one going to be across the heart of the plate, in there for strike 2. So quickly ahead in the count here is Carrillo to Corliss. So Lang stands at third, Irvin over at first, Tyrone over at second. The pitch. That one's going to be swung on, tailing foul toward the Boston bullpen. Corliss so far here today, of course, 1 for 4, has struck out twice, has grounded out as well. He's behind in the count here to Carrillo, though, 0-2. Outfield playing the big right-handed bat deep here. Infield plays at normal depth. Carrillo back to the rubber now. Working diligently is the right-hander. Now he comes to the set, the 0-2. Now that one's going to be swung on, hit out toward right. Moving back on it is Perrin at the track. He's able to make the play right in front of the fence out there. So Carrillo able to get another runner out here and get out of this jam here in the 9th inning, as UMass Dartmouth has been doing all day. So Boston's able to load the bases, doesn't do anything with it. We head to the bottom of the 9th. It's the Corsairs' turn at the plate.
Best in the Little East Conference over the past 10 seasons. The men's team has posted the best record in the Little East Conference in that span, while the women sit in the top 5. Combined, the two programs have posted the best record in Little East Conference between men's and women's teams, and they have also combined for 8 Little East Conference preseason poll number 1 honors.
Guys that have come in, wanted to get better, wanted to work at it, understood what it took to be successful, team effort, hard work, resiliency, and just coming every day and really buying into what us as a coaching staff have been selling. And then I've been very, very blessed and fortunate to have a tremendous assistant coaches. These last 10 years have had great guys that have really cared about the student athletes' success on the court, but equally off the court.
I think the things that I tried to focus on were, obviously you need to have talent. I think we've had a lot of players that have a lot of talent. I think we've had a lot of buy-in by all the players. I think that's what has made our program have the tradition that it has, is that players come here and one group passes on to the next group, the tradition and the buy-in, and how you have to have a lot of self-sacrifice. The team is the most important thing, and your individual stuff comes later. I think we always play hard. I think we play with a lot of passion and intensity, and I think that shows how much heart they have.
Back here at the Eastern Baseball Stadium in the final inning of play here in this Little East Conference Tournament opener. So going to be a pinch hitter coming up now here for UMass Dartmouth as they're going to try to walk it off. So it's going to be Nate Stewart, comes in hitting a chilly 158. Has driven in 1 run, no home runs to his credit, but comes in a big spot here. Top of the lineup due up next here for
We're sending it
Dartmouth.
to Sports Center. We're sending it to Sports.
So Amalfi back out on the mound here. In 8+ innings of work, he's been stellar. Has only given up 1 run. You look at his line, 8+ innings, 6 strikeouts. Has only given up 3 hits. Has walked 1. Now Stewart's going to lift that high in the air, out toward right in front of the fence there. Good piece of hitting there by Stewart. Just missing a home run out there. Right in front of the wall that time was Herrera. So a loud first out here for Dartmouth in their half of the 9th. So now it's back to the top of the Dartmouth lineup and Eric Ramirez. So Coach Prince almost looking like a genius there as Stewart just missing a walk-off home run there for Dartmouth. But now Ramirez climbs back in. 0 for 3 here today, has fanned twice. Is that one going to miss outside for ball 1? Now Amalfi's going to miss upstairs one more time for ball 2. Mike Doherty and Dylan Ryan warming up in the bullpen for UMass Boston, the 2-0. Now Ramirez is going to follow that one off back behind us. Count 2-1. J.R. Disarcina on deck for Dartmouth here in their half of the 9th. 1 gone so far after that loud fly ball from Nate Stewart. The 2-1. And Ramirez is going to chop that one outside of third, foul. Again, winner of this game will take on top-seeded Eastern Connecticut in a 4:30 game right back here at the Eastern Baseball Stadium. Amalfi to the windup, the big leg kick in the 2-2. Now Ramirez is going to lace that one over. Nice diving play by Zarrilli. Throws across the diamond in time. Nice glove work over there by Zarrilli. We've seen that a couple of times here today. So a couple of exciting outs here. 2 gone now in the 9th.
So far.
And we mentioned it, Kyle. We've seen a couple of nice plays, and one of them by the guy stepping into the box right now, and J.R. Disarcina.
Talk about that beautiful play, that crazy play rather. Able to fling it on over to first, get the out.
So now he steps in with 2 outs here in their half of the 9th. He's first pitch swinging on that one, lifts it high in the air out towards short center. Zarrilli moving back on it. He's able to make the play to retire the side. So Dartmouth isn't able to do anything in their half of the 9th. Now we're going to move to the 10th. Free Little East Conference Baseball.
I think that we recruit those kind of players that have a lot of heart and love the game and want to focus on team goals.
While both programs have shown tremendous team success over the last 10 seasons, there has also been several instances of dominant individual performance. It was a compilation of 15 different players that edged their name into the illustrious 1,000-point scorers list over the last 10 seasons, including men's all-time leading scorer, Tarchie Brown.
Tarchie came in and first day had an impact on the program. Very, very talented, player. But just how he carried himself. He was a role model, very, very good student, valued academics. So I think he was the complete package. But just on the court, his presence, offensively, he could score the ball in so many ways. And so he was, an opponent's nightmare as far as a matchup. Very, very impactful from day one. I think Tarchie was one of those guys that continually worked.
Back here at the Eastern Baseball Stadium. Free baseball here in this Little East Conference Tournament opener. Jarrett Soltis joined alongside by my partner Kyle Smith. And Kyle, it's been a pitcher's duel here today. Only one run apiece for each team. And now we're going to see free baseball here, and it's going to be a matter of who can separate themselves here in the latter stages.
We've been saying it all day. Look at all those zeros on the board there, Jarrett. Back and forth, 3 up and 3 downs all day. So it's interesting to see what's going to happen this 10th inning.
So now as we move into the 10th, after 3 stellar innings of work from Robbie Carrillo, Coach Prince going to go to another right-hander in this rotation in Zach Delvecchio. Delvecchio comes in a 6.38 ERA and 18 of third innings of work. Has fanned 18. Opponents hit it at 265 against him. So Aidan Blake is going to be the one to get the first crack at Delvecchio heel. And his first pitch from Delvecchio dances across the outer half, in there for strike 1. Blake's been quiet here today, 0 for 3, and he's swinging at that one, fouls it off to the right side, out of play. The windup in the 0-2. Good pitch to waste there. 0-2, misses outside, though. Blake wasn't chasing, so runs the count here, 1-2. The pitch. Similar spot there that time. Baker tried to drag that one back up into the zone, but count runs even now, 2-2. Another slider missing outside, so Delvecchio ahead in the count, 0-2.
Falling behind 3-2 now, Jer.
Outfield shifted over toward right. Lyons, the center fielder, playing toward the right center gap, and home plate umpire going to call for time here late. As the right fielder, Perrin, plays more over toward the line as well. The 3-2. That one going to miss down and away. So Blake, a good at-bat there, behind in the count 0-2, but then watches 4 straight balls go by him. So he trots down to first with a leadoff walk here for Boston.
Now batting number 10, Thomas Q.
So now Thomas Q to step in. A 1 for 3 day for Q. Has swiped a bag, reached on an error, ground out and a fly out as well. Opportunity to try to take the lead here. Now he's squaring a bunt. Nell charges. Ball's in the dirt that time. Nice stop by Baker behind the plate to keep it in front of him. It's going to keep Blake down at first here. So some small ball going to be implemented here. It appears from Boston. The 1-0. That one down that time. So Delvecchio falling behind in the count here, 2-0. Delvecchio finally getting this game. We saw him warming up ever since about the 5th inning. So now time going to be called here. And a big spot here as Delvecchio seems to be struggling to find the zone. So pitching coach George Brent going to trot out and talk to his right-hander. So a long meeting out there on the mound with Coach Bent and Delvecchio. So now Q going to move in the box, squares to bunt again. He's going to pull back on a strike there that time. Dartmouth has been clawing from behind here all day. Has gotten themselves in some tight spots. Now Q squaring again. He's going to pull back one more time. That one missing downstairs. Count 3-1. As there you see UMass Boston in a big spot here. Thinking about going to the bunt. Now that one going to be laced over under the glove of Nell that time at third. So now runner's going to move up to first and second here. So Nell was shaded in due to the bunt, but then that one scoots under his glove. So now runner's on first and second here with no outs. Golden opportunity once again here for Boston. Now Delvecchio is going to check on the runner. That one's going to get away. Able to move up to second and third is both Blake and Q. So a gutsy play there, trying to pick the runner off at second. We've seen Dartmouth try to do that all day long. But now runner able to move up to third there, as you see. As now Coach Prince has seen enough, he's going to make a change here. So Delvecchio has struggled here in this inning, has struggled to throw strikes, and when he's thrown strikes, Boston has capitalized. Of course, that base hit down the line from Q. So Delvecchio is going to exit here. So pitching change means we'll step aside, and we come back. We'll bring you the rest of the 10th inning. Don't go anywhere.
In the weight room, on his skill set in the off season, and he progressively got better and better. And he had a tremendous senior year, that ended in a pretty good way.
The women's individual achievement was also nothing short of spectacular. In 2016, the program saw a new third all-time leading scorer rise to power in Jordan Nappy.
Jordan, great player, great kid. One of the best experiences I've had with a student athlete. She, came to us from Mercy High School, and they were very successful and won a state championship. And she came here and had success pretty early on. But the thing that I think with Jordan that when I think about her is just her consistency. Also the word clutch. She hit so many big shots when she played here. She hit so many big free throws. I mean, she was always our go-to person at the end of games when when they're trying to foul on purpose. So she really did a great job with that. I think the other thing that people don't know about her, though, she really got very, very good on the defensive end of the side of the court. I think she really learned by her end of sophomore, beginning of junior year, that she could really help us on that end of the floor, too. But she was a great kid. She's great player, and just loved being around her every day.
The production of top-tier players was not only noticed by their coaches, but rather by the rest of the Little East Conference. 6 different players combined for a total of 10 Player of the Year, Rookie of the Year, and Defensive Player of the Year awards. Eastern men's basketball forward Hugh Lindo is responsible for 3 of those awards, including 2 Defensive Player of the Years and 1 Player of the Year honor.
Hugh was a riot. I mean, that's probably the best way. I mean, those that know Hugh, he's a fun-loving guy that always has a smile on his face, and when he stepped on the court, it was 100%, 100 miles an hour at all times, and always the opposing coach would always ask, geez, how do you get him to play so hard every game? And it wasn't every game for Hugh, it was every practice. He would come with effort, every practice, every possession. He was there, and just he loved to compete, he loved to play. That rubbed off on his teammates. Guys that saw Hugh, who was a great player, first-team all-league guy, dive on the floor for a loose.
Back here at the Eastern Baseball Stadium, where Coach Prince has gone to the bullpen here, and he puts his faith in his long right-hander Logan Maitland. As Maitland comes in relief, a 3.65 ERA and 24 2/3 innings of work, has fanned 33, Opponents hit it at a 207 clip against him, and he comes in a tight spot here. Runners on second and third with nobody out here in this 10th inning. And what has been a stalemate here at the Eastern Baseball Stadium, and that first pitch from Maitland is swung on and missed for strike one. So Zarrilli in the box. And you talk about him today, he's flashed the leather frequently. But 0 for 4 at the plate, and now he swings and misses that off speed from Maitland once again. So Maitland comes in and quickly gets ahead here, 0-2. Big spot here coming for number 3 in black, the pitch. Now that one's going to be lifted out toward left. Moving in is Bryant. He's able to make the catch. Throw is going to come in, and no throw is even made. So coming in to score there that time is Blake. So sacrifice fly, that's all that Zarrilli needed to do, and he got the job done. So now Boston jumps out in front and take the lead here 2-1 in the 10th. Now Maitland comes in, is able to force a fly out. That run's not going to be charged to him. But now it's going to be a pinch hitter once again here for Boston and Steve Brookwell. Brookwell comes in hitting .212 on the year. No home runs, 7 driven in. And he watches that slider from Maitland dance across the inner half for strike one. The 1-1. Off on the pitch there that time. Throw is going to go down to third. Hits Q in the leg. What a jump there that time from Thomas Q. As he was already about 3/4 of the way down to third before the ball even was out of the hands of Maitland. So Boston getting aggressive here in the late stages of this Little East Conference Tournament opener. Dartmouth going to try to stop the bleeding here, the 2-1. That one's going to run high and inside. So Brookwell has come in a pinch hitting situation, has run the count here 3-1. Infield has creeped in. Vasquez and Nell play in on the lip of the grass. Ramirez and DiSarcina play even with the bag at second. That one's going to be chopped outside of third, foul. As you see down the line there, the top seed at Eastern Connecticut, they're anxious, ready to go for their 4:30 game, but they still await the winner of this exciting Little East Conference Tournament opener. A 3-2. And that one's going to miss just upstairs there that time, so Brookwell's going to trot down to first with a 1-out walk. So now runner's going to be on the corners here for Boston.
Now batting number 2, Ryan Lung.
So Ryan Lung now to step in. So we saw him come in at a pinch running situation a little while ago as he pinch ran for Michael Camus after that double he hit a couple innings ago. Boston wasn't able to do anything with it as they're going to check on the runner at first. But Brookwell is able to dive back in there safely. So Q stands at third, Brookwell over at first. Laying at the plate. Now he's squaring a bunt there. He's going to tap that one foul, though. So Q is going to have to walk back to third. So an update as well, the top-seeded team in the Eastern Connecticut pot of softball, the Warriors, winning that game against Keene, and they will move to Little East Conference Tournament Championship this coming Saturday. And that pitch is going to be in there for a strike from Maitland. So Maitland a long look in here in a big spot. Trying to keep the Corsairs within striking distance. Now he's going to check on Brookwell over at first. But he's able to dive back in safely. See Brookwell, he's been dancing off the bag over there at first. Has been getting Maitland fits. Now trying to go to the off speed there one more time as Maitland, but he misses high and inside. Count 1-2 now. And Eastern Connecticut will play the winner of Southern Maine and UMass Dartmouth in that pot up at Southern Maine. That one's fouled back. Currently, Southern Maine leads 10-6 in the top of the 6th up at Southern Maine. Now Maitland is ready, the 1-2. As that one's going to be in there for strike 3. Is able to get him looking. So a big strikeout there for Maitland. That will allow his infield to play at regular depth. So now 2 down here in the 10th.
Now batting number 1, Ben Irvine.
So Irvin steps in now. Saw him get intentionally walked in his last at-bat. He's had a 1-for-3 day. Has walked twice. Ground out and a fly out for the leadoff center fielder. No, big swing and a miss on a nice off speed. Changeup disappeared that time on Irvin. Count 0-1. So Maitland going to step off the rubber here and regroup. As he came in a tight spot. As that sac fly from Zarrilli scoring Blake. And now that's where we stand, a 2-1 lead for Boston in the 10th. Outfield shifted a touch over toward left. Maitland's ready. Here's the 0-1. Now trying to check his swing, but home plate umpire says it's a strike anyway. So count 0-2 here. Maitland jumps out in front of the leadoff hitter in Irvin. And he's going to waste one outside there that time. So runs the count 1-2. Here's the pitch. Now that one's going to be lifted out towards short left field. Outfield was playing back. Moving in on it is Bryant. Is able to make the nice play running in on it. So good jump on it that time from Bryant as he retires the side, but not before Boston puts a run across the plate to take the lead in the 10th. We move to the bottom half of that same inning. It's the Corsairs' final chance.
Ball that became contagious. Every day was something different with you. Always smiling, always happy, always asking, hey, coach, how's everything? Just a great person to be around.
While history is hard to ignore, we cannot talk about Eastern women's basketball over the past decade without talking about current star forward Maya Villard. Along with her Rookie of the Year honor in 2017, Maya now finds herself top 10 in 8 different statistical categories in Eastern women's basketball history.
I think the thing with Maya is just her year-to-year improvement. She had drastic improvement from her freshman to sophomore year, sophomore to junior, junior to senior. It's just been nice to see her make that progression. I think also just seeing her grow as a person has been really rewarding. I think also just her leadership skills. I think when she was a freshman or sophomore, didn't really think that leading was on her radar really at all, and she's really worked hard at trying to become a better leader, and she's really doing well with that this year. But the other thing about Maya is she's just a fun person. She's a fun person to be around. She's a fun person to have on the team. She keeps things light a lot of the times. So she makes me laugh a lot, and she's just been great, you know, being part of our program. We were fortunate to have her, and she also has been very, very consistent. And those are really the greatest players that have played here. You just see the consistency they've had for 4 years.
While both programs have experienced massive success over the past decade, there's also been instances of great heartbreak. For the men's program, the run at its first national championship game came up a few short when they were taken down by Cabrini College in the 2012 Sweet 16, following a thrilling double overtime win in the round of 32 against SUNY Oswego.
Yeah, I mean, I think you get that far into a NCAA tournament, any loss at that point is going to be tough. That was a great group, a group that was really together, played hard, and had an unbelievable run, through the LEC tournament where we won those games, where there were a couple where we thought that it may not turn out our way, and then to get up to Oswego and play, a really, really good Oswego State team.
Back here at the Eastern Baseball Stadium, we move to the final half of the 10th. The last chance here for UMass Dartmouth to try to tie things up or win it in their half of the 10th. And UMass Boston, in a tight situation, going to go to their right-hander, Dylan Ryan. Ryan comes in, 3 flat ERA in 18 innings of work. Has struck out 30. Opponents hit it just under 200 at 197 against him. That fastball is going to miss outside. Ball 1. So good opportunity here. The heart of the lineup coming up for Dartmouth. As that one's going to be in there for a strike. It's going to be Perrin, Nell, and Vasquez. 3, 4, and 5 due up for Coach Prince here in their half of the 10th. That one's going to miss upstairs. The 2-1. Now Perrin's going to send that curveball out of play to the right side toward the Boston bullpen. Now here comes the 2-2. That one's going to miss upstairs. So Ryan in jeopardy of surrendering a leadoff walk to Perrin. We'll see what happens here. Count full. Ryan goes to the windup. He's ready with the 3-2. That one's going to be across the heart of the plate in there for strike 3. First strikeout here of the day for Ryan coming in relief. 1 down now in the 10th. So now Mike Nell climbs in. So that first pitch in there for a ball to Nell. He represents one of the final chances here for Dartmouth. Big swing and a miss that time. High fastball there from Ryan. Nell comes up empty on it. Count 1-1 now. Ryan trying to go to the curveball that time, loses control of it a little bit, misses inside to Nell. The pitch. That one's going to miss upstairs. So now Nell in the driver's seat here, ahead in the count 3-1. Here comes the 3-1. Now that one swung on, hit high in the air, out toward left, but just going to be a loud foul ball here for Nell, just out in front of that one. As he was close to tying this one up here once again in the 10th. So Ryan climbs back to the hill, the count full once again for the right-hander. He looks in, now he's ready. Home plate umpire going to call for time. Happened a couple times here so far today. But now Nell climbs back into the box. Ryan getting on the same page here. The 3-2. Now that one's going to be fought off one more time. Good job by Nell to fight off that off speed. Runs the count full now, 3-2. Ryan working diligently here against the middle portion of this Dartmouth lineup in the 10th. The 3-2. Swung on and missed for strike 3. Ryan's able to get him to go down swinging. Back-to-back strikeouts for the right-hander. 2 down now in the 10th. So back-to-back strikeouts here for the big reliever is now Jose Vasquez. Represents the final chance here for Dartmouth. They're down to their final out. And he's first pitch swinging at that one. He's just going to foul it off out of play. 0-1. So if Vasquez is able to reach, it would hand things off to the catcher, Mitch Baker here. UMass Dartmouth looking to try and see if they can't win this one and play Eastern Connecticut at 4:30. But Boston has other plans. A 1-run lead here with 2 outs in the bottom of the 10th. The 1-1. Now that one's tipped off the mitt that time. Vasquez got a piece of it, but glances off the mitt of Kide. So count 1-2 now. Now Dartmouth down to their final strike here in this Little East Conference Tournament opener. As you see the UMass Boston dugout, they're ready to try and celebrate possibly what could be a tournament opening win. Big sigh there that time from Ryan. Now the 1-2. That's going to miss high and away. Looks like Ryan might have lost his footing there that time. Now he goes to the windup. Here's the 2-2. Now that one's going to be swung on, hit high in the air, out toward right, tailing toward the track. Able to make the play on the run there that time is Herrera at the track to end this one here in the bottom of the 10th in a thrilling Little East Conference Tournament opener. The Corsairs coming up just short, battling from behind all day long, but coming up just short on a nice piece there from Vasquez. Thought that might have had a chance to get out, but tailing away and hangs up for the final out of this one. So UMass Dartmouth will have to head back to Dartmouth, Mass, and come back on Saturday, and they'll have to put on a show there. There's already one loss for them in this double elimination tournament for UMass Boston. Now in about 40 minutes here, they will be taking on the top-seeded Little East Conference team, the Eastern Connecticut State University Warriors, and Coach Ham and his squad rearing and ready to go. They've been here for quite a while, waiting to see the outcome of this one. But a final score of 2-1 in 10 innings here in this Little East Conference opener. So that's going to do it for us.